ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finale of Gris. So, to get this last memento, for whatever reason, I don't know why, they count it as part of the first level, like part of the white world, but you can only get access to it literally at this point in the game. I don't know why. But so once you've pretty much completed the yellow world, you tuck into this little dome building here. So each memento basically adds a little ray to the sun. So once you've collected all the mementos, you're gonna want to sing, and this will unlock the secret cutscene.
Oh, okay, all right. Here I was thinking it's gonna be at the very end. All right. Oh, multiple shooting stars. Make a wish, quick. So wait a minute. It's like I'm trying to think. So it's like I assume like the smaller girl or whatever. That's Gris or whatnot. So what? So it's like who's the other woman?
This is Gris, and I am assuming this is her mother.
Wait a sec. Oh, hold on. Was that same woman like the same woman we saw like at that statue like near the end of the Blue World?
More or less, yeah. So it's like this cutscene, more or less, this cutscene, it's just kind of adding a little bit more to the story, making things a little bit more coherent, and it kind of helps bring in a lot more of the symbolism. So it's like, this is why there's fireflies in the game. This is why, the specific colors are active, So we see that, little Gris and, again, this woman whom I'm assuming is her mother, so we see that, okay, this was an important memory that she had, when she was a kid. So it's like, it's just one of those cutscenes that it kind of brings it all together. But now it's time to actually see some of the end stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Oh god. Oh. All right. What creature is this bird gonna turn into now? Oh god. Wait a minute. Wait a second, hold on. Okay, I was joking about the fact that the villain was gonna take away all the colors. Christ! I freaking knew it. Oh no.
That's why I'm giving my mouth shut.
Well, clearly that the boss kept her mouth shut. She gobbled Gris up. Oh, jeez. Well, after all of that, the world is back to being gray and dull. But seriously though, it's like, wow, what a jerk! Freaking, it's like she gobbled Gris up, and on top of that, she did that as she formed into her own mother. It's like, for Pete's sake, we were just talking about that woman, that mother figure, and that this villain had the audacity. Like, wow, it's like if this antagonist was a bad guy or something.
All right, so then come here and sing, and last one, acceptance.
Huh? Acceptance. I wonder what. It's like in this particular scenario, it kind of makes you wonder, what do they mean by that? Acceptance.
Well, think back to everything that we, like, all the other little instances that, have unlocked, so far. So we unlocked, we unlocked denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance.
Oh, I get it. It's like I forgot. I mean, I forgot what the series of words like. There was like a name for like those series of words put together in that order or what. But yeah. I know what you're talking about now. It's like, yeah, wow, I can't believe it took me that long to notice that.
Yeah, it's the 5 stages of grief.
Oh, okay. Now it all comes together. Oh.
Yeah, so more or less, so everything in this game, basically, it's like, yeah, and when you take that cutscene, that, little added cutscene into account, so it's like the 5 stages of grief, the broken statues, at first being devoid of color slowly coming back in as you're going through the stages of grief, and then that whole secret cutscene at the end. It's like, yeah, this is just pretty. Yeah, this is all about Gris's mother. Again, I'm assuming mother or maternal figure. Yeah, she has died. So this entire game was just basically the artsy fartsy way of just showing, yeah, this is Gris pretty much coming to terms with her mother's death.
Wow. It's so fascinating because it's like you're describing like all the achievements as more so just bragging rights, and while in a way, yeah, I can definitely see that, but when you put it like this, it's like, oh no, it's like I see all these achievements as more than that. It helps define the overall message this game brings, and it's like, wow, that's actually a rather interesting way to utilize achievements in that way. Mm-hmm. On top of the symbolism that this game has already presented from beginning to end. Oh, man. It's like now seeing all of this and with all the pieces put together, again, no pun intended, no intention to shed so much light on the situation, but it's like, man, it's kind of a downer. Well, I guess it seems like now that she's accepted the loss of her mother or whatnot, it's like now it's like what once was like a white blank world or whatever, like all like the entire world is now rejuvenated with color again.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
Yep, now it's just time to pretty much climb the constellation that we've been building all throughout this game.
Right.
All those fireflies that we've been collecting.
Wait a minute, hold on. Gris is like going up to the heavens.
Well, it's not so much. I don't think it's so much going up to the heavens, just so much as like, finally putting it all behind her.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
No. Gris is not the one that died here.
I was just about to say, it's like, no, Gris was not the one who was passing on, but oh my god.
Yep. So that's Gris. All right, so yeah, Ryan, what did you think?
Oh, God, where do I even start? I mean, I mean, I don't want to come off as like a broken record or anything, but it's like, oh man, it's like it has been quite some time since I have run into an indie game, or actually, more so like any game that took like a very creative, artistic, like an artistic direction with a very powerful message behind it. It's like it's one of those games where it's like when you go through this game and then all the pieces come together and you realize the real big message that like an artistic game like this game, you know, presents to you when it finally comes to you. It's one of those games where it's like that feeling gets you, you know, again when you realize what message it tries to tell you, and it's shocking, but in a very brilliant kind of way, because it's like, again, it correlates to what I brought up earlier, you know, when it was like you were telling me like how the achievements are more so like for bragging rights or whatever. Like they don't really accomplish all that much. Like in a matter, like when you compare it to like say the achievements you get like on the Xbox or the trophies that you unlock, you know, on the PlayStation. And it's like, yeah, while that is true, it's like it's like just from what I've seen from this game, it's like, oh no, I think these achievements, like, it's not solely just for bragging rights alone. They contribute so much to the overall message and whatnot. It's like on top of the secret cutscene that you unlocked, like near the earlier, like during this finale or whatnot. It's like utilizing achievements in that fashion. It was for one thing, for me, it was very unexpected, but very well done in that case. And it's like overall, it's like, yeah, much like what I saw from the initial trailer that you showed me like some time ago before we even got to recording the commentary for this game. I love the animation. I love the art style, the overall direction with both the art and the colors. It was all done so beautifully from beginning to end. The music, of course, if you want to listen to a relaxing soundtrack, then this would be your cup of tea right here, because it is done beautifully with every single world. Though I can't say the same for the times that we were like running to, like, you know, the eel or like the sandstorms in the red world or whatever. But even then, it's like, I gotta say, I think out of all like the artistic games and such, like the artistic games that have a very powerful message to it, I think this may be my favorite game, like within that genre. Like out of all the games that take a similar direction to this one, you know, I think Gris probably takes the cake for me.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean, and I agree, because not for nothing, it's like, you know, of course, like, you know, indie games, a lot of like, you know, your indie developers, you know, I can't fault them for wanting to tackle like, you know, personal issues or, you know, more like deep issues and shit. It's like, you know, can't fault them for wanting to do that, you know, because you're not going to see shit like this in the AAA industry. You're just not. But
no.
But that being said, though, one cursory glance over at like something like Steam, and oh my God, there is so much pretentious garbage out there. That's where it's like, you know, it's like on one hand, it's like, okay, I applaud you for trying, but oh my God, you are trying way too goddamn hard. And that's where it's like, unfortunately, a lot of like your artsy fartsy games, they kind of get that bad rap of like, you know, oh, it's just pretentious depression bullshit. Nobody wants to play that. I can't fault people for automatically writing games like that off, because unfortunately there's a lot of them out there like that, you know.
Yeah.
But
it's like if you can't find like those kind of artsy games like on Steam where it tries really hard to bring out a message that revolves around depression and such, if not on Steam, oh yeah, it reminds you of like all the times that a lot of like Flash animators, you know, try to pull off the same concept on Newgrounds, and it's like,
right.
Yeah,
like,
not the greatest stuff to see.
Yeah, or it's like they beat you over the head with the message where it's like, you know, do you get it? It's about depression. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you feel bad now? It's like, I get it. I fucking get it. Shut up. But, you know, But a game like Gris, I can appreciate it because while it's like, okay, yes, this is a game that's about the 5 stages of grief, and depression is a part of grief, when you're mourning the loss of somebody. But where I can appreciate with what Gris was doing is, for one thing, it's not beating you over the head with it. 2, it's basically the art is telling the story. So I mean, it's the artwork, it's the animation, it's the music. The game mechanics are very simple, but really that's all it needed. It had what it needed. It didn't need to be anything overly complicated or anything like that. So it's like, these guys did a very, very good job. And I think that's why Gris really stuck out to me. So it's like, and again, this is available, like, I think this is available on PC, but as far as consoles go, I think this is only available on the Switch, which I guess just kind of goes to show that at least Nintendo is trying to find some quality out there, like, quality control. They're trying to, like, actually find, like, okay, yeah, this is good, regardless of what your message is or whatever. It's like, this is well crafted, well put together. This isn't like, I'm going to throw some shit, I'm going to download some shit off of Unity and then package it into a game in and of itself. Like asset flipping, I think, is like what Jim Sterling called it, which is more or less what Steam has become. So it's like,
right.
It's not any of that. I mean, this was very well planned and very well thought from the ground up. So it's like, I wish more indie games took their time, really, really thinking about, what they want to do. And like, yeah, having like, having the art, the music, animation, having all of that come together. It's like, there are others out there that are like this, but, tragically, they are very few and far between. And it's like, that's where it's like, honestly, like, I think that's really why I wanted to really bring Gris onto this channel. It's like, it's a very short game, as you can see. This takes like 2, maybe 3 hours tops, but it's very, very well worth playing. Like, even if you just play it once, it's worth playing through. So it's like, I highly, highly recommend this for your Switch library.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like whatever message they were trying to get across. I mean, it's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's like whatever they did to handle the message, it was very subtle. And again, like much like how it was with me when I was watching this, throughout this entire like a commentary or whatever from beginning to end, like all the pieces didn't come together until the very end. So yeah, even from that, it didn't feel like, like this, like the people behind this game were trying to beat the message into your head or anything.
And I think it's because of the fact that there is no dialogue in this game. I think that's a big factor. It forced them to think like, okay, if there's not going to be like any dialogue or anything, how can we get the message across? How can we tell this story? And that's what made them think like, yeah, we got to do it through the artwork. We got to do it through the animation. So that's like,
the symbolism.
Yeah, it allowed them to really get creative and really think outside the box, which I freaking loved. So that's where it's like, I definitely want to try and keep my eye out on these guys. Like Nomada Studio, these guys did a really, really good job. So it's like, it's like, hey man, this is a really good starting point. So it's like, if they're in the middle of like working on something now or something, because I mean, I think like even like on the behind the scenes video, they even had like, they said we had all these different kinds of ideas of stuff that we wanted to do. But again, these guys understood like, okay, hold on a minute. There's only so few of us. We only have so many resources. Let's trim it down a little bit. Let's not go overboard, because that's another problem with a lot of indie games. It's like, people's eyes are bigger than their stomach. Like they want to do all this crazy stuff, and it's like it ends up like either they spend forever trying to develop something and it's like becomes kind of not worth it in the end because it never actually finishes. Cough, cough, Yandere Simulator, cough.
Yeah, that's true.
you get shit like that, or it's like, or it's like No Man's Sky even. I know that's a little bit more towards like the AAA side of things, but it was like, yeah, No Man's Sky was another big example. It was like your eyes were too big for your stomach. You had way more ambition and you didn't exactly have what you needed to get it done. Thank you, Nomada Studios, for actually recognizing your limits and working within your limits. So that's like, so hopefully, like, if these guys continue to make, like, some other artsy games, and it's like, okay, maybe some of the other ideas that you thought, you wanted to do with Gris, but you decided ultimately not to, find a means to, like, work them in another title, by all means.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Alrighty, so, I'm trying to think. So, any last words for Gris at this point?
Still an amazing game. If you haven't been too much into the artistic style of video games or whatever, starting point, I think starting out with Gris would be your best shot. Because again, like I said, with various other games taking a similar direction to Gris, with its like with its artistic value and gameplay as such, it's like this probably has to be like my favorite. Like I think from what I've seen, yeah, this is my favorite game like throughout the entire genre.
Yeah, for like those those artsy fartsy indie games. That's where it's like, it's like, yeah, because I mean, I played a fair amount of them. It's like, hell, I did the Unfinished Swan here a few years ago. It's like, I keep telling myself I got to bring some of the stuff from that game company on here. So I got to bring like Flow, Flower, and Journey on here. Especially Journey. Journey is another really damn good one. Like I'd say like, I don't know. For me, Journey's a little bit better than Gris, but Gris is really up there. It really left a big impression for me.
And rightfully so.
Alrighty, so with that said, hope you guys enjoyed, and yep, hopefully I will have another game planned out by the time this video is done, because it's like it's been way too long since I've done Let's Plays. I got to get back into that habit, so yeah, hope to see you for the next game, whatever it is that I decide to do.
All right, take care, everybody.